18-acre site, including all the athletic fields that are used by a whole lot of folks in our community. Do they develop it into housing, condos, apartments, offices, retail space? Or do we repurpose Central and the entire complex into a arts and recreation complex, which would include a performing arts center, all the athletic fields, pool, gymnasium, classroom for the arts, and recreation in the community, including senior and teen centers, fitness centers, art, music, theater, dance studios, and the like. A grassroots community organization, the park, the Plymouth Arts and Recreation Complex Committee, was formed earlier this year to determine whether it would be feasible to convert the school into an arts and recreation complex. But we believe in order to really fulfill the potential of that facility, it would really take a collaboration of the school district, the city, and the township. I don't think anyone can do it. I don't think any two can do it. I think it really takes all three entities. We've taken a pretty good look at this. This is a big project. It would serve the entire greater Plymouth community, but it would really take all the entities in the community to really support that. Now, some have suggested that, maybe this complex should be located in the township. After all, most of the residents reside in the township. But we believe it would be much better located downtown at that particular site. It needs to be centrally located. I think that's a plus in the city and the township, and certainly downtown locates it in the center geographically. I think the Penn Theater, the library, historical museum, Kellogg Park, and the cultural center are all located right downtown, and I think a facility like we're discussing here really needs to be located in that general area. People want the restaurants and cafes and within walking distance of these destinations in order to fulfill their particular time out or that particular evening area. I've lived in Plymouth Township for 43 years. And I've never made the distinction between Plymouth and Plymouth Township. I live in Plymouth, and it's always been Plymouth, and it'll always be Plymouth, and I really see it as one community. This is my home. And I think the city and the township really do share a relationship where each really benefits from the other. The city is certainly a key selling feature for the township, and township shoppers and eaters certainly are critical to the success of the business district in Plymouth. And the Park Steering Committee to help assess the feasibility of the project. We're not asking for support of the project. We're asking for support in determining the feasibility and viability of this project. And if we can establish that, and I think that's going to take 18 to 24 months to really go through all the steps to achieve that. And if we can establish the feasibility of it, then we let the voters decide. We're pushing to do the feasibility studies to build a business case with participation by all the various entities that would need to take part in this.
Well, Dan, I don't agree with you about the community between the two. I helped get the library built. There's 9 people that were involved with it back in '94. I was urged by the township board back then not to build it in the city, to build it in the township, and I said, no, it needs to be in the city. They said, you're not going to see an increase in property values in the township, the city will. And they were absolutely right. We averaged 80% of that bill, and we saw no economic gain from it. Okay? Later on tonight, there is going to be another proposal about a recreation center in this township. We've been talking about it for a few years. We bought some property a couple of years ago off a tax foreclosure for the purpose of recreation. I've had boards up here. We've had a lot of people inquire about recreation like Livonia has and like Canton has. And this, besides the field, does not offer that much in a recreation facility to the citizens of Plymouth Township. It offers an auditorium. It doesn't, and swimming pools. So we're going to be, if you stay around, you'll see what will be proposed later. But I disagree with you that we've worked with the city on numerous occasions, and unless it comes to financial benefit for them, and at the expense of township residents, that's the only time they get in. If it's not to their benefit, they want nothing to do with us. Recently, with the fire department, they pulled up and left because they were going to save a couple $100,000 a year. People forget that 10 years ago, we put $250,000 extra in to build that underpass. The city's poured. So the underpass gets built, and within 2 years, they're out of our agreement. So there is some of that here, and I agree with you. There's some residents that think just like you do. But I think there's a lot of residents that also look out for their values of their homes and also in where their money's going. And unless it economically benefits their house instead of the prices in the city, I don't think they're going to go for it. But that's my opinion.
Any other questions or comments?